All right, we're back with 48 and 24. We want to thank James Anderson. This was the only spot we didn't have filled of all our guests, and James came through.
Save the day.
He's got a spork. He's got a Screencast pin.
He's part of the Sport Club.
Yeah.
One of the elite, one of the
May
few.
the spork be with you.
Yes.
May the spork ever be with you.
And he's also a Screencast Camp alumni.
So maybe we should talk about Screencast Camp. I don't know, James. James, first, let's have you introduce yourself so everyone out there knows who you are and what you do and your connection to screencasting.
My name is James, and amazingly, I live about 7 hours north of them in the same state, in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, where it's very cold, just like it is there. So we're a lot more alike than we are different. And from my command center in my basement, I work for a business unit of Xerox, and we are a technical help desk, our business unit, and I have call centers in 5 countries that I run the training program for.
Wow.
And one of the most insane regular commute schedules that I know of.
A short 9.5-hour drive door to door to our largest call center in Fargo, North Dakota.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So should we talk about Screencast Camp? Was that
Absolutely. It's a great time.
So you've actually been. We've had three Screencast camps, and you've been to all 3, correct?
I have. I've been to all 3, and last summer for my 3rd one, I was able to drag my wife, and she's a high school special ed teacher, and she had a great time and learned a lot.
So, for those who don't know Screencast Camp, maybe James, from we could describe it, but I want to hear from you. How would you describe Screencast Camp to someone?
Raucous fun, learn a lot, and lots of beer. That really just boils down to that. But in all seriousness, you take the bar camp or the uncamp formula, and I think what's really cool about it is what Screencast Camp is what the people who come bring to it. And I'm learning from other screencasters, and I'm learning from the tech smithies, and taking wicked notes online and the old-fashioned way, dead trees throughout the weekend, and learn a lot and just be able to share ideas. And last year you started a creation element of that, where we had a friendly little competition where there was some spying, and I would still to this day contend a little bit of cheating going on with the screencast contest. And but we hold no grudges up in the Upper Peninsula.
Yeah, I mean it really is, and it's so for those that it's a Friday night. You come down. We plan every session Friday night for the most part. We go all day Saturday.
Yep.
Plan a little bit more. Go Sunday, and we go through Sunday morning. And
And don't forget the geek crafts. I found one of my geek crafts, the little toothbrush bug that Betsy helps normally lead. Unfortunately, she didn't as much last year, but really looking forward to her being fully back in action, leading the craft sessions this year.
Yes, I will be back for this year's Screencast Camp. So basically, TechSmith, we open our doors, we host it. It's product agnostic. We just want screencasters to come over the weekend, meet each other, share tips and tricks. We can learn from them, they can learn from us, and
it's free.
It's free, right? You can.
It's unbelievable. You guys are great hosts.
You can come in our studio where we are tonight. You can see how we do things. You can sleep at TechSmith. You can sleep in my office if you want. You can camp. I had a tent up a couple of years.
Or there's a very comfortable hotel room right across.
Or there's a comfortable hotel room next door as well, if you're not feeling that rustic. But really, I mean, you just have to get here, and technically you don't have to rent a room, or we'll feed you too.
So James, you also so the other thing that's about this, so not only do you get to absorb information, you talked about share information, you teach, and I think you had a couple sessions last year. Is that correct?
I did, and I was trying to remember what I did, but I've done kind of a roundtable in the past on talking with folks in the corporate area like I am. Typically, it's been, about 60% or so of the Screencast folks have been educators, and then we've had a number of corporate people, and then you have some private people who are doing it on their own. So I've had some roundtables with the corporate folks talking about some of the unique challenges that we have, and to me, that was a great opportunity to see how people get through some of the barriers that the corporate world has about sharing proprietary information, where we can post things that we experience on a daily basis that the education folks don't really experience because they're open and they're allowed to share those things often, not always.
Right, absolutely. So as is there any, coming out of 3 screencast camps, is there some takeaway that you gained during one of those that has changed the way you look at screencasting or changed the way you work and create your screencasts?
I think 2 things, and they're almost diametrically opposite. One, and it was you or Anton, I believe, that was talking about everything doesn't need to be video, and sometimes it's just easier to take a skill shot and then add life to that, whether it be pulling out call outs for or walking through a process step that sometimes it's just too hard and unnecessarily hard to try and navigate and edit down video to show a process, where a still image using call outs and faded effects will walk you through that in a much more logical fashion, and it looks better, I think, to the end user. But then the other thing is also using more video, using more real life video. And that's what I've been doing at Xerox the last 18, 24 months is I bought all of my team HD cameras and tripods and good microphones. And we're out there trying to capture more real world video from the desk. Quick agent interviews, what's a customer service tip? What's something cool that you really learned? Let me hear something from my business unit leader or my center manager. And that way I can share that across the globe with my call centers.
Wow, those are great tips for you guys as well. Have you found that adding real world video, has that been, it sounds like, obviously cameras are expensive. You've invested in that for your team, but has that changed impact of the videos that you're creating for the viewers?
The feedback I get from our users is it's more engaging. They like seeing that. It's not just a picture of an application that they're looking at or a still photo of someone and hearing some audio. They find it a little bit more engaging. But the other thing that I find, particularly for people who are in non-leadership roles, is it has a shorter shelf life. I am in the call center industry. We have a lot of turnover. The industry average is 25, 30%. We're in the 15 to 20% turnaround range. And although you sign off that we're allowed to use your material forever, we've kind of just taken this feeling that unless it's really, really good, we're probably not going to use someone that left for another opportunity. So I find that I have to manage real video, a lot more. I just need to keep my eyes on it more and know what we have out there in the database and in our LMS and SharePoint and wherever else we're putting it.
So it sounds like it's a little bit more disposable. It has to be, you have to kind of push through it a little bit more.
Yep,
refresh.
absolutely.
Well, so Betsy, do we want to make any announcements?
We can make an announcement.
Let's make an announcement.
Why not?
Let's do it. Let's break the. Hey, it's 8:30.
Right.
At night.
Right.
James, let me ask you: if we had a 4th Screencast camp, would you be interested in coming back?
I'd probably be interested, but you want to know what, Matt? I know people were on the waiting list last year. I've been to 3, and I probably wouldn't because of that.
I understand that.
I don't know if it'd be Screencast without you.
So that's a balance thing we have to figure out how to balance.
Your beer might last a weekend without me.
That's no.
So
we have room for about 100 people or so. So our largest conference room holds about 120. So that's sort of our size confinement.
But let's just do this. We're gonna do Screencast Camp 2014. We have dates.
We do. I don't remember them off the top of my head. It's August 8th
it's the first
through
weekend,
the 12th? Second weekend in August.
Second weekend in August of 2014. So you've heard it here first on 48 and 24th.
Yes. The website is not up to date yet. We haven't. We're not taking sign-ups yet, but you can say the date.
Mark your calendar.
Right.
This is something that we are doing. So James,
second
mark
weekend.
Your calendar.
I'll let my wife know. She'll be back from Alaska, and I'm sure she'll love that opportunity.
So
yeah, that'd be great.
Well, James, let's wrap up the recording here now that we got the date in there, and we'll continue chatting here in just a second, but we're still rolling forth with 48 and 24, and hope you've enjoyed the videos that we've been recording. Thanks to James for filling in our 8:30 time slot, and we'll be back to, if you're watching the live stream, we're going to talk some more, but for the recording, all you folks out there, make sure you're checking out the other videos, and checking out our blog. We've got lots of resources out there that will be helpful to you, as well as just hopefully interesting. So we'll be back in just a minute.